Hello there, my friends. Welcome to another live stream of the weekly free instant tournament. And if you have seen other videos of this sort, you know that I first check on the stream to see if everything is correct. Then I share the screen with BBO so that we can go to the tournament. And it's an 8-deal match point tournament. Just turn off the BBO messages here. You can find it under the Solitaire tab here. Just go back. Solitaire, weekly free instant tournament, 8 deals of match point scoring. And this tournament remains the same throughout the week, which means you still have time to play these deals. And if you haven't yet, I suggest that you don't watch this video, because it will spoil the tournament for you. And so play it and then come back and watch the video. We start with a 12 high card point hand, third position. We have to open, mostly because most people will. But this is the kind of hand that in which opening may not be the right choice, because we have length in the minors. An unsupported queen, that queen of hearts, is an unproven value. And we may very much be making it easier for them to find their contract. But I'll follow what everybody else does with some regrets. Maybe, perhaps this is my imp rubber bridge history talking too loud, and maybe in match points this is too pessimistic. We have 12 after all, so it's not a sub-minimum opening bid. I prefer to open 1 diamond rather than 1 club. This is a matter of some divergence in the literature and among experts. And especially with a weak hand, I much prefer to open a diamond, even if the suits were switched, if clubs were much better than diamonds. I like to have a club rebid in my sleeve if the auction turns competitive. So let's say we open 1 diamond, it comes 2 hearts double pass. Then the possibility of rebidding 3 clubs will come in handy. And if we had opened 1 club, 3 diamonds would be uncomfortable, to say the least. So let's start with our better miner. And of course, after 1 spade, we have to show a balanced hand. He is at least inviting us with this 2 club bid. There's a not official bid. It's called new minor forcing. It's a very old-fashioned system that the robots use in BBO. In this particular instance, is not very costly, but when we open 1 club and he has to force with 2 diamonds, we lose a step that may be important. But here he is inquiring about features of our hand that we haven't shown yet. And the most salient feature is clearly the 3-card spade support. So we have denied 4. We have to show 3 cards support. And here we go. So he has, of course, this is silly. What's alerted here, 6 hearts and 4 spades, completely silly, because he would have bid 1 heart with that hand. I have very little idea of what the robot is doing with this bidding. But one thing that I'm pretty sure is that unless he has gone completely off the rails, he must have better and longer spades than hearts. And so I'll correct to 4 spades. Q bid, he says. That's very, very strange. In other words, what he's saying is that 4 hearts is mostly forcing us to stop, because he may not have 5 spades, but he have maybe very long in hearts. That is ludicrous. But I'm at a loss here. I don't know what exactly the robot is doing. With a human player, we clearly should take out 2 spades, because he should be bidding his better suit in the first round. Our hand is not bad for hearts. I'll bid for spades. I don't know what's going on. With Q bid is awful. We don't want to go in. He's a best hand, remember. He's a best hand. So maybe we should take our lumps in four hearts rather than bidding four spades and seeing him going up to the stratosphere. I'll do that. Cutting my losses with a not a misfit, but two weak hands. We have a minimum opening bid and he's a passed hand. Okay. Yeah. We should be playing in spades rather than in hearts for sure. That said, the lead was favorable for us because it's most likely shortness. So the king is offside. But the salient point is that they didn't catch the ace of clubs. And so we can get rid of our club on the ace of diamonds. And we can therefore hope to lose two hearts and one spade, something like that. So let us do that. Not finessed. Discard our club. Now, which heart should we play? Probably is the low one to force Wes to climb with the ace if he wants to give his partner a ruff. If East has one spade and two hearts. If he has one spade and three hearts, we can't avoid the ruff. But if he has one spade and two hearts, we can by playing low. And so he has to duck, because if he wins, then he loses the second trump trick. He ducked here, which is strange, but now we can lose only one more heart and the spade king. Ruff and claim and tricks. 89%. I'm curious to see what happened. First of all, let's discuss this hand a little bit more deeply. Passing with a 6-6 major suited hand is not good. let's put it like that. It's terrible, awful, horrible. So those people who this pass got only 29%. I am sympathetic to South here. As you noticed by my comments, I think South's hand is much closer to a pass than North's. What should we do with North's? It's a matter of style and agreement, but I would open one spade. I think this hand has the playing strength of an opening bid with something to spare. Of course, we lack defensive tricks. And so if the auction turns uncomfortable for us, if partner doubles a contract at a high level, we may regret our choice. But when we have a hand like this, there's no safe course. We just have to pick the one that gives us the most greater likelihood of scoring well. And I think it's opening one spade. Some people would perhaps open two spades. I don't like two spades with a 6-card heart suit on the side. But, well, and we only us ended in four hearts. So let's see what's... People are bidding two diamonds over two clubs, which is strange because you have three spades support or two no trumps. So it's very peculiar that we raised spades and the robot offered hearts. This guy's bidding four spades, which is very aggressive because, well, partner might not even have five spades, perhaps. Being a passed hand, I think that's not possible. But he doesn't have a clear acceptance of an invitation. So it was very aggressive. The guys who bid four spades, none of them bid two spades over two clubs, which is the obvious bid. So I'm at a loss here as to why people are bidding so strangely. Anyway, next deal. 17 high card point. This is a clear 1-0 trump opening bid, a maximum, but we're allowed to be maximum. It's not an upgrade. And so we landed in two spades. Partner has five. This is a routine that you should always be doing, like adding these points and checking how many points are off. And so we have 17 and 5 is 22, 18 points for them. East is a passed hand. And so he can have more than 12. Most likely the division is something like 9, 9, 10, 8, something like that. And our main concern here is guessing trumps because we are going to lose the ace and king of hearts and the ace of diamonds. There's not much to be done about these losers. But trumps we may play in two different ways. We may play the queen of spades from a hand or a low spade from dummy. And if Wes is showing ace king of hearts, well, he doesn't have the ace of diamonds, but still the most likely spade break appears to be the king of spades in east. 7 of diamonds was the shift. 7 of diamonds to the ace, and then the 9 of diamonds. What's going on in diamonds here? They're both playing high diamonds. West shouldn't be playing the 7 of diamonds from 3, maybe 4, but not from 3. Anyway, perhaps we should discard a diamond on the heart if there is a rough coming. But for this to work, we would have to win this trick, cash the queen of hearts, discard a diamond. And if you want to play a low spade from dummy, then we have to play ace king of clubs in the club from to rough and dummy. Because we don't know who roughs diamonds. Maybe it's east. Maybe east is over roughing them. So if you want to do that, I don't have any clear indication that the king of spades is in east. West might well have ace king of hearts and the king of spades. Let's do. But maybe West, especially if he has long hearts, maybe 5, maybe, and 4 diamonds, for example. Maybe he would bid with 5 hearts to the ace king, 4 diamonds, 4 little diamonds. The king of spades, maybe he'd bid something not vulnerable. So I would be inclined to think that the king of spades is in east, not with great safety, but let's call it 55%. So I want to play a spade from dummy. And also I found out a little bit more about the queen. Okay. So now this guy has the ace of diamonds and the queen of clubs. He may have the king of spades, but one thing is for sure, we shouldn't be risking a club now. If you want to go to dummy, you should rough a dime. If you want to play a little spade from dummy, I think we should do it. Let's rough with the 6. Okay, diamonds are 3-3. And the king was there. We want to maybe capture that jack of spades in West in the ending. If he says king jack third, we are dead. Let's see. Yeah, king jack third. So apparently we couldn't do much more than what we did. Well, we could. If we had played 4 diamonds to be 3-3, we might have used the queen of hearts as an entry, roughing it. And so we would score 1 more trick. That sequence of plays of diamonds from the opponents was a bit weird. 7 of diamonds from this holding. Anyway, we got 43%. And instead of 93, if we had roughed the queen of hearts to get to dummy that way. Let's see how they played. I'm curious to see how a successful declarer played. He won in dummy to lead a low spade, so he risked the diamond rough. Yeah. If you do that, you succeed. Okay, 15 high card points. 1 spade opening bid. The two diamond we bid. If East allows us, he didn't. Double here would be penalties. You see here biddable clubs. And so we are in a bad spot here because we have a nice hand. But we don't have that nice hand that allows us to go to game, for example. But three diamonds here, which is an overbid. My inclination is to overbid with tough hands because that makes it easier for partner. And if partner bids 3-0 trumps, maybe we don't have a lot of tricks here. That's one concern. If we had slightly better spade intermediates, I might consider doing that. I think I have to pass here. Although my inclination was to bid, I think I'll have to pass here because if partner passes, three clubs is probably and they're vulnerable. So partner may apply a penalty pass here, and we may get to 100. Partner bid in 3-0 trumps without encouragement for me. That makes me much more hopeful of making 9 tricks. You should have 10 or 11 and some nice club stoppers. No nice club stoppers, but 12. And we have 12 and 15, 27. The King of Hearts lead is strange, the non-club lead. We should probably be ducking that because we're still safe against the club defense, and maybe he will switch to clubs, and we would like to get that club trick from the King of Clubs. But we have 8 top tricks, 4 diamonds, 3 spades, and a heart. Let's duck it and see what happens. He's not making it easy for us. If this is a singleton, which is quite possible, then we are in trouble. Unless spades run, we are in trouble. If it's not a singleton, if it's king, queen, doubleton, for example, maybe we can. If it's king, queen, third, there is a safe king, queen, third, and the ace of clubs. That's already strong, very strong for a 3-club overcall. I wouldn't bet on that. But the problem is that if spades are not breaking, West very likely has a stopper. He can always keep, if we win this trick and play, one trick is gone. If we play 4 more diamonds, one spade that he just played, it's 6. The ace of hearts is 7, so West will keep 6 cards. 3 spades, the stopper. 2 hearts is enough of a stopper for hearts, and 1 club. That's all he needs to defeat the contract. So there's no end play unless we can duck this spade, but the 4 spades is also a bad card to duck. I don't think we'll be able to duck that. So maybe what we should be doing is hoping that East has king, queen, doubleton or third of hearts. If it's king, queen, doubleton, maybe, and a singleton spade, maybe we can get him on an end play at the end. Let's see. Let's play for that. That's in addition to a. So for this to work, we have to duck a heart. Let's see who has a queen of hearts. Okay, so that's very likely a singleton. Yep. And now the best that we can do is run diamonds. It looks like down one from my view. Oh, whoa, 4 diamonds. 4 diamonds. That's probably a 7-4-1-1 in East. Not good enough for us. We needed one more trick. Even if we lost that one more trick, we needed to be able to play one more trick without West crushing us with clubs. Yeah, he's pitching a spade. He has 5 for sure. And so the ending is pretty much as we considered likely. He has still 3 spades. His 6 cards are 3 spades, the 10 of hearts. He's got 2 hearts, yes, and 2 clubs. So if we basically have to hope for it to be the ace of clubs, but it's a very slim hope. Let's just cash our 8 tricks, and we have to play a club. Now we concede. No further winners for us. The 10s are crushing us. Tough hand. We probably have some company. Oh no, 85. People are getting greedy in the bidding or in the play, trying to make it in a hopeless position. Okay, 12 high card points. A club over call would be appealing to some. I think it's hateful, but 3 little diamonds are terrible, terrible flag. 2 spades is spades as diamond support. Now we have a hand, not that we have diagnosed the fit for them. We can probably make some number of clubs, not 4, but some number of clubs. However, we have no safe entry back into the bidding, and the king of spades is also a bad card if spades are behind us. So let's keep quiet. And maybe they are just missing some game here. That's our hope. Okay. There is no good reason for us not to play a trump. If they have nice spades, nice enough to establish the spades, they are probably in the wrong country. They should be playing in spades. So we have to assume that East is short in spades. And so playing a trump is probably the best way to curtail their tricks. Curving this because part may have queen 9-8. Looks like it, to be honest. And we continue the trump attack once we win this trick. And so he will be able to ruff only 2 cards in dummy. He's still thinking that he might establish spades, but he won't. Or will he? Yes, he will. He will. He will lose a spade right now in dummy side. He had the little heart. So now he can concede. He made 9 tricks. Could we prevent him from doing that? Not really. If we just attacked clubs rather than trumps, he would cross riff. So he would still win 2 hearts. And the idea of attacking clubs is taking away that trump entry at the end. But then he would just make it more tricks. You see, he got 100%, which is surprising because a 3 club overcall is getting walked. Hateful, I called it. Hateful, and hateful it is. It's surprising that you get so much match points from this hand, but still. Anyway, I think it's time for a word from our sponsors, which is myself. And let me just call you to the Bridge Academy, which has been in a bit of a lull lately, but I will rekindle. I think that's how it's pronounced. Rekindle it this week. That's a commitment of mine. I will start posting videos again. I have a great hand that showed up in one of my lessons a few days ago. But you see here, it's still a very useful platform, even though it's been slowed down in past months. Hundreds, literally, of videos highlighting the Clariplay themes, defensive themes, and bidding themes. And many of them are open to all members, which is free. Membership is free. Some of them are open only for subscribers. And so if you want to subscribe, I'm very grateful. And it's only $15 per month. so it's quite affordable, and you have access to a huge library of videos. So consider visiting the Bridge Academy. The address is bridgeacademy.locals.com. Next hand, 21 high card points. We have a 2-0 trump opening bid. And we're going to play 3-0 trumps along with the rest of the galaxy. No difference in contract here. Okay. We have 8 top tricks, 4 hearts, ace, king, ace, king. And we might consider establishing diamonds if there was a second entry, or if a diamond owner falls. So probably this is our best shot. Ace, king of diamonds, win in hand, ace, king of diamonds. And then it's usually best not to mess with spades to get to dummy. So lead a low heart. But it would be fine if somebody played the 10 of hearts in this first trick. So let's see if that happens. Nope, no 10 of hearts. But this, the appeal of this plan is that we have a second string to our bow by inducing a club shift. So we could lose 2 clubs and 2 diamonds. So let's take away the safe hard exit, especially if this guy wins the diamond trick. No. And now we are in an uncomfortable position that will catch the jack of hearts. And our best shot here is that we will be able to get a spade trick at the end. He can't cash his diamond. So maybe now what we should be doing is a spade and a spade to win the jack of clubs in the end. Maybe that's our best shot. Other than that, if we play low here, we're playing for him to have the queen of spades. He would have queen, then 4th of diamonds. It's less likely a priori because of the extreme red suit distribution. So West has 4 out of the 6 hearts and 4 out of the 6 diamonds. So he started with 2-2 in this suit, so it's much more room for him to have the queen of spades. So let's try that. Not my day. If he had the final queen of spades, I would win the trick with the jack of clubs. But now I'm down 1, and this is probably a very bad result. The singleton ace of clubs. It's a very, well, 53. It's not that bad. It's a tough hand anyway. But it's much more likely that the queen of spades would be with East at that point than with West. So I don't regret my play, at least at first glance, maybe. Some of you will tell me in the comments why I should have played low. I would welcome that. I'm not that positive that this was the right play. Okay, 1 hard opening bid and the 2 diamond rebid. And an acceptance, we have 15. Partner should have around 10. We accept any game invitation here. And we have 3 spade tricks. Lots of possibilities for club tricks, depending on how they defend, with some red suits in reserve. So this is clearly a matter of conserving entries to north and taking away the club stoppers. So if they duck this next club, and they did, now we have some options. If they continue spades, they allow us to establish our club suit. If spades are 4-4, I must confess I didn't pay too much attention to the spade spots as I should. That seldom happens to me nowadays, but sometimes it does. I think since the second club owner is clearly in East, he led the Jack of Spades. He's dealer. So he shouldn't have both red kings. Maybe he has, but it's unlikely. So if he has the king of diamonds, the king of hearts is the outside, or should be. So I would like to lose the lead to Mr. East. I think I play a low diamond at this point. That's not so bad. Some block at 8 of diamonds. And see, okay, now. Maybe now we should switch to hearts. But we can also play a heart to the ace and establish clubs anyway with the queen of spades as a threat over them. That would force them to play some red suits for us. Let's do that. Okay, maybe that's an entry. No, it isn't. Okay, well played, my friend. But if you are out of hearts, my hand is high. Do you have the king of hearts? No, he doesn't. So I'll win the final. But it's still down 1, 43%. 6 spades here. Wow, so many people are just missing game. That's very peculiar. And we gave it a good fight. Not losing too much time with that. Now we have a strong 2-suited hand, 21. Not good enough for a 2-club opening bid in my view. Maybe it should, but the robot, I don't think the robot handles 2-club opening bids too well. Now, this is a very slam possible hand. And so if we could show our side suit and suggest slam, that would be ideal, but we can't. If we bid something at the 4 level, it's a splinter. And the easiest way for us to have a slam here is for partner to have fitting honors in our suits. So if he has 2 kings, he's accepting a game invitation. We're in a tough spot here, but I don't like hunting for slams in match point conditions. And so I will pass, but I would like to be using a better system with a better player opposite. Yeah, it's a borderline slam. With the 4 trumps, it becomes great. It's a good slam. With 4 trumps opposite. That goes back to the issue of system. And with this hand, playing my own favorite system, I would beat 1 spade, 3 spades. And then our evaluation would be much stronger here. But now, in 4 spades, we have to establish clubs. Roughing cheaply in the first few tricks. Okay, so what that means is that this guy has the jack 5th of clubs. And so we would like to rough 2 clubs high. Unless trumps are 4-0. So let's check. They weren't, so we will rough 2 clubs high. Little diamond here. Rough another club high. Now we can come to our hand with a heart. and draw trumps, making 6. Not a very taxing hand in play, but we still scored 82%. Many people are not doing that. The two-spade bidder probably, well, took the bull by the horns. I'm not very opposed to this approach, by the way, especially playing with the robots. I think I might choose it some other day. 17 high card points, a very no trumpy hand. And I think it's best for us to choose open no trump with this hand. And partner is a peasant, so we are not worried about slam. We clearly should stop discussion in playing hearts with 5 hearts opposite. And get this nice lead, right? It's a very nice lead. It's good to not have open one spade. And if this is a short ace of spades as it looks to be, we have 5 heart tricks and 2 clubs 7 and 1 spade 8 and the ace of diamonds 9. And basically we need to establish spades. That's the safest way. So not pitch the spade on the ace of clubs. If we do that, let's just follow the play. Draw trumps, ace of clubs pitching a spade, king of spades, west discards. Spade rough, and now we need a diamond finesse for establishing the 5th spade. And if we do that, so we play a diamond to the queen, our 4 diamonds in them. We will discard, we want this 2 diamonds, we will discard 1 diamond in the 5th spade, which will be established, but we'll still lose 1. So if we're going to lose a diamond, even with the queen of diamonds on side, we can lose a spade instead and establish the spades and discard 2 diamonds in 2 spades from our hand and the 3rd diamond on the ace of clubs. So clearly we should draw trumps ending in dummy without discarding the spade. Now this entry, and now this is interesting because if he's, unless he's playing a very deep game, playing the 10 and the jack, and he might do that with jack 10 third. He might do that. So I want, the robot likes to play expensive cards when he thinks he can afford it. But if I was sure that he had only jack 10 hearts, maybe I should at this point lead a spade immediately. But I don't see any upside. So let's draw the last trump and play this little spade. Okay, he has the queen and the singleton, and now we have all the discards that we need. Right, 2 spades and a diamond, 2 spades and a club will deal with all the diamonds in dummy, and the king of diamonds was offside, so that was right play. That happened here, 85%. So we won that tournament, and 72%. That's a new feature. I haven't seen it yet. Let's see how we scored. Well, people are having 100%. This is, of course, people are playing the same cards like a dozen times just for fun. That is cool, but that means that this scoreboard is completely useless for us. We don't know how many people are playing only once, like we. And so, but we had a good score, good tournament. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.